Activision and Sony proves again why time exclusives is and always will be a bad idea.
It's a really bad idea.
Welcome everybody, and thank you so much for joining me for another gaming news video. Now let's just sit back and jump into the story immediately. Now I briefly covered this topic in another video, but today I just wanted to go a little bit deeper than that. With the release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Activision announcing that the game will be a 30-day time exclusive for the PlayStation 4, it has re-sparked a debate about the time exclusives and people's distaste for it. Now Activision and Sony is not the first company to do this, and they will not be the last, but with all the controversies surrounding Call of Duty and Activision, I figured this might be a good place to start. So let's start with the current drama, and then we'll try and make our way through without losing our minds. A lot of people consider Modern Warfare 2 to be one of the best Call of Duty games ever made, if not the best, definitely the most memorable. So it should come as no surprise that when the announcement was made that this game will be remastered, it was met with a lot of excitement, but that excitement quickly faded when the news broke that it will be a timed exclusive. Now I do not have a problem with time exclusives, I welcome them, and in fact I think that they are necessary for platforms to have. It creates healthy competitions and it makes the owner of that platform feel more connected with the brand. And with that I also do not have a problem with an exclusive becoming available on other platforms as well. In fact I think it is great that a game like Horizon Zero Dawn is now available on other platforms as well for more people to experience. I think it is great for gaming. But a game that was previously available on all platforms and now suddenly becomes an exclusive to a certain one for a time period because Sony or Microsoft paid a bunch of money to the developers, now that I do have a problem with. But before I go into a total rant, let's just dive a little bit deeper into the latest Call of Duty and the current problems. Now I'm not sure why Activision or Sony made this decision, but the running theory is that the game was originally supposed to be released much earlier, and during that time Sony and Activision did have a 30 days exclusivity deal, so when the game was announced that deal had to be honored. Now I would like to believe that if Activision could go back they might do things differently. I've made this point before and I'm going to make this point again. I do not understand what you would get out of a 7-day or 30-day time exclusive. People who have the platform to play this time exclusive game on will just buy the game, and those who do not will wait for the game to become available and then buy it on their gaming platform. You are going to sell the exact same amount of copies, if not less, because now you have a bunch of people that is angry at you. It's not like people are just going to run out and buy a new console for a time exclusive, especially if it's just for 7 days or 30 days. That would be absolutely crazy. Then again, we do live in a world filled with crazy people. Now this is also not the only controversy surrounding Call of Duty, there is more. There will be no multiplayer for the latest Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. Again, I have previously touched on this topic, but I do want to go a little bit more into it. So before we do anything else, let's just look at the official statement from Activision. You may be wondering, where's the multiplayer and special ops? Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered does not include those modes. Beginning with Modern Warfare last year, the focus has been to bring players together seamlessly in one unified online multiplayer background, with crossplay releasing new post-launch maps, modes, weapons and more content drops for free, and launching Warzone free-to-play free for everyone new Call of Duty experience. Modern Warfare universe will expand, bringing new experience to players. We've played iconic Modern Warfare series maps of the past returning in the new Modern Warfare, including classic maps like Rust, Shipment, Crush and Vacant. Plus in Warzone we've also experienced classic Modern Warfare series locations like Gulag and Boneyard in new ways. So there you have it, there will be no multiplayer for this game. Instead they want to bring all the players together through one online experience. They feel like the player base is being split up since there's already Modern Warfare 2019, Warzone and Call of Duty 2020 on the way. They did not want to add another multiplayer experience. Now that to me is just absolutely crazy and just show how little they actually know their fan base. I'm not sure whether Activision know this or not, but people do not buy this game for the single player experience, they buy this game for the multiplayer. If there's only going to be one multiplayer experience that you're going to keep updating and then release a new Call of Duty game just with the campaign, people will simply not bother with the game and just continue to play the previous multiplayer until they get sick of it because there's no proper support or new maps, and then they'll just leave the game altogether. I guess the hope is microtransactions. We'll see how long that's going to last. For a franchise that is more notorious for the multiplayer, there has been a lot of excitement surrounding Modern Warfare 2. Just imagine how much more excitement there would have been if they just released the entire game. The full game had the potential to be a bestseller, but I do not have much hope for it now. Now it is worth noting that this game is 45 gigs to download. That is really big for a 5-hour campaign, and it gives me a little bit of hope that maybe they include the multiplayer files as well, so they can leave the door open to release it at a later stage, but I guess that's just me getting my hopes up here. Now we know that there is not a lot of time left before the release of Call of Duty 2020. We also know that seasons can last a couple of months, so there's only a limited amount of time left for Activision to drop all the remastered multiplayer content of Modern Warfare 2 in Modern Warfare 2019, and I just do not have a lot of hope that we will see all of that remastered content. There is also so much more that fans of this game will miss out on: old school guns like the Vector and the ARC, also the challenge system and prestiges. At least there's a little bit of good news. The campaign will not be touched on. They will not exclude any of the missions, and that is important to point out because there was a lot of controversy surrounding the No Russian mission. Unfortunately, we have people who do not understand that a game is just a game and have continued to make the argument that the mission is too offensive and out of touch for today's world. Now in this controversial mission, you play as a double agent assigned with the task of acting as a terrorist beside multiple actual terrorists, with the hopes of ultimately undermining them after all is said and done. So you start in an elevator and then you make your way up to the airport and then you just start shooting everybody in sight. Honestly, like I said, people need to understand that a game is just a game. The whole point of the mission is to show everybody how bad war is and how both sides will do anything to win. But even with all of the outcries from a selected few, the mission will not be touched. In conclusion, this game did have a lot of potential to be really big. It is a fan favorite game that has filled so many people up with nostalgia. The campaign is iconic, and I wish that all of the fans could have experienced the full multiplayer game as well. Unfortunately, it does not look like they ever will. And on that note, this is where I'm going to end it. So thank you so much for joining me. Stay safe, and I hope to see you again next time.